Welcome to the lesson plan for April. I'm going to be talking about fine motor skills this month, and I'm going to give you educational tips with that, as well as show you an activity that I'll have ready for you on a day of pickup. I'll also include a handout with all this information with that activity. And so for now, I'm going to go into the educational tips. First, I'm going to go into motor development in general. Motor development is the physical growth and strengthening of a child's bones, muscles, and ability to move and touch their surroundings. And motor development has two categories, and those are gross motor skills and fine motor skills. Gross motor skills are skills that require the whole body movement, which involves the large muscles of the body to perform everyday functions. Those examples are standing, walking, running, sitting upright, and kicking, and that eye-hand coordination like throwing and catching. Fine motor skills are responsible for the development of the wrists, hands, and fingers. And examples include holding a pencil, playing with Legos, tying shoelaces, and fine motor skills develop as their whole body starts to move and become more stable. They also learn to do more with their hands as their cognitive and social emotional skills improve. So now I'm going to go into what to expect for fine motor skills at certain ages for typical development. So please don't stress if you hear these expected milestones and that doesn't match your child. Every child has their own path and their own strengths. And if your child is a person with a disability or you suspect that your child has a disability, when I have that one-on-one time with you, I'll make adaptable lesson plans for you. And then just a reminder, you are the expert here. So 0 to 6 months, there's that reflexive grasp at birth. So if they have their palm out and you place like your finger in their palm and they grasp around that, that's what that is. And then around 3 months, more of that voluntary grasp and putting hands in their mouth, hands becoming more relaxed. And then around 6 months, that controlled reach. Then 6 to 12 months, more reaching, grasping, putting objects in mouth, the controlled release of objects, that pincer grasp, so just the thumb and index finger, and transferring objects from one hand to another, dropping and picking up toys. 1 to 2 years, so building like towers with a few blocks, turning a few pages at a time in a book, scribbling, turning knobs, painting like with the whole arm and shifting hands, making strokes, self-feeding with minimal assistance, able to use signing to communicate, bringing spoon to mouth, and holding and drinking a cup independently. Then 2 to 3 years, turning a single page of a book and holding a crayon like with thumb and fingers versus the whole fist, using one hand consistently in activities, painting with some wrist action, making dots, lines, circular strokes, rolling, pounding, squeezing like Play-Doh, and then eating without assistance. 3 to 4 years, building taller towers and manipulating clay or Play-Doh more, like rolling it into a ball, making a snake or a cookie. Using a non-dominant hand to assist and stabilize the use of objects, and then at this point using scissors to cut paper. 4 to 5 years, writing their name, writing numbers 1 to 5, copying letters, dressing and undressing independently. And so those are all just a few examples of fine motor skills that your child can be practicing already. And just for working on improving fine motor skills, just simply practice. You can go back and listen to those milestones, read over the handout I have, or even just search online. But just observe your child and how they're grasping, picking things up and everything. And if they can't do it or need assistance, just have them practice that one thing on their own if they're able to. And in our check-ins, if you need a fine motor activity, I'll plan one for you. This is not the only fine motor activity I'll ever have. Just so for now, I'll be providing a general activity and I'm going to go into what that is. The activity I chose is a clothespin dinosaur puppet. It's a great way to practice fine motor skills and it really strengthens the hands and fingers, and it's great for ages around 3. They can have them use a few fingers and thumb to pinch the clothespin. If they're younger or have a hard time with the fine motor skills, you can encourage them to use a fist to squeeze. If they're older, maybe have mastered fine motor skills more, you can challenge them to use just their index finger and thumb while pinching the clothespin. And so I'll just show you how I made it. I just printed a free online template of dinosaurs and then cut out each individual dinosaur, and then you cut all the way through the mouth or the teeth, so you have two pieces. And then you glue the top piece on the top and the bottom piece on the bottom, and then glue it in a way that doesn't overlap, and so it looks like the mouth is closed. And so when you're bringing out this activity with your child, just first let them have fun with the puppet, and they can make it roar, talk, walk around, all of that, and then you can add the challenge. So I gave each of you a few dinosaurs of different colors and then a few pipe cleaners of colors that match the dinosaur. So you can tell them to have the yellow dinosaur eat the yellow pipe cleaner, and so on. And then even more of a challenge, you can mold the pipe cleaners into shapes. So you can have the green dinosaur eat the square, have the yellow dinosaur eat the triangle, like that. So it's a great way to practice fine motor skills. They're also practicing colors and categorization, and it's just a fun way to have some playtime with your children. That is a rundown of fine motor skills. Each month I'll have a different theme with educational tips, as well as an activity and a handout that will be available to you on a day of pickup in that month. I hope these videos create fun and educational family moments for you all. You can find these videos on our social media pages, as well as YouTube with the hashtag Midtown Family Moments and hashtag Midtown Community Services. Thanks for listening.